I wrote the song Ruby Slippers kind of for my students. I was teaching, and still am actually teaching, at a junior college in the state of Kansas. And one day I was up lecturing in front of my students, and I was prepping them for a test, and I said, listen to me and I will put you on the yellow brick road. We'll stay out of the weeds and we'll get where we need to go. Well, I went home and I was playing my guitar, and I began to formulate a song that used characters in The Wizard of Oz and just life. And the real intriguing thing about the song is that, and it's really the key of the song, is I talk about ruby slippers. And we all know in The Wizard of Oz that Dorothy was given a gift. Her gift was ruby slippers. Those slippers took her down the yellow brick road and ultimately took her home to Kansas, where she wanted to go. So in the song, I just encourage people to keep their ruby slippers on. Use the gifts and the talents that God has given you. Embrace those and walk down your road, and you will always find your way back home. And to me, home is the place where you feel most like yourself.
Sometimes the sun sets down so hard. Sometimes the cold wind blows through every part. That's when the fire must fall, show you you are not alone. Oh, you're not alone. Sometimes the night just lasts so long, and you forget you have a song to sing. That's when the fire must fall and show you you are not alone. Yeah. Oh, you're not alone. Walking along the yellow brick road, the monkeys fly and the witches scream. Tin Man walks around the town, but he's not so squeaky clean. Scarecrow comes down from his pole, the lion loses the courage he'd know. Yeah. He left it on the floor. Pull the curtain back on the wizard, you find that he's not as strong as you thought he was. But the ruby slippers that are there on your feet, they always had the power to lead you home. Leave your ruby slippers on. Leave your ruby slippers on. There's just one life that's been given to you. You've gotta step on out into the midst of it. Won't always like everything that you do, but you're gonna have to live with it. Gather flowers before it rains, and realize that even in love there is pain. But that's alright. Just use the gifts that are given to you, and you will always find your way back home. Leave your ruby slippers on. You leave your ruby slippers on. Because there's just one life that's been given to you. You've gotta step on out into the midst of it. Won't always like everything that you do, but you're gonna have to live with it. gather flowers before it rains, and realize that even in love there is pain. Oh yes, there is. So you just use the gifts that are given to you, and you will always find your way back home. Use the gifts that are given to you, and you will always find your way back home. Use the gifts that are given to you, and you will always find your way back home. Leave your ruby slippers on. Leave your ruby slippers on. Sometimes the sun sets down so hard. Sometimes the night just lasts so long, so long. Leave your ruby slippers on. Leave your ruby slippers on. Leave your ruby slippers on. Leave your ruby slippers on.
Class of 2013.